Today, we're speaking with Victoria Rudi, founder and SaaS analyst of SaaS Minds, a subscription-based knowledge hub for SaaS founders and executives. Victoria is an expert in all things SaaS growth, the host of the SaaS Theory podcast, and author of Growth Practices.
Well, I can say that I'm a SaaS fanatic, so your introduction was perfect.
What are some examples of your favorite websites right now?
Well, if you would ask me like 1 year ago, I would say the classical ones, Miro, like the big companies. But now I'm more and more interested in smaller businesses, micro SaaS or indie hackers. They're making some very interesting websites. All the innovation, when you look at big corporations or big SaaS companies, they're almost all the same. But if you want to search for innovation, for new experiments, for new things, you go to see what indie hackers are doing. And I absolutely love this community and how they're approaching the website. So, for example, one of my favorite website is Tally. Tally offers, it's like a no-code form builder. So yeah, this is the website of Tally. As you can see, is not your typical website. SaaS website is very neat, is very white. It's very clear in what is offering. And as you can see, the product is the main hero on the website. Here, maybe, okay, it's not an interactive demo like the ones Novatic is offering, but still how important it is for people to see the product from the first moment, and to understand what the product is doing. But still, at the same time, apart from seeing the product, people have the opportunity to go to their community. They have a Slack community. They even have a Reddit community. They had one. I don't see it anymore. They even offer you the possibility to create a form without actually creating an account. I mean, if you can just start building the form just like that without any problem. And you have to create an account only when you want to publish the form. Obviously, that's the moment that they're hooking the lead. So yeah, it's one of my favorite websites because it's so neat, so clean, and so straight to the point, and it doesn't create any doubts. The second website I love is Vid. It's quite famous. I mean, they also started as an indie hackers, but it grew so much. In this case, also in terms of demos, what I like about Vid is that they transition from the typical create your account, no credit card is required, to try it now, no account is required. I mean, you can just jump in, you can upload your video here, and you can just start editing and start doing stuff. And if you don't have a video, for example, you can try a sample. They even offer you a sample. So here, wait a second, it's charging. Are we gonna see the sample or no? Here it is. Yeah, they have a video, in-house video, and they're offering the possibility to test it on a sample. Another thing that is great about this website is that they have like over 170 pages, landing pages dedicated to features. This is absolutely crazy. You go to tools. This is what's called programmatic SEO, and it allows you to rank very well on Google. They are going into details, and they're creating landing pages for every single feature, even for features such as translating from translate Hindi to English audio. Now, you have a landing page, how to do that, and it's okay. The text is almost the same, but it's still, it's aligned with the essence. Like it's impressive. I mean, the work they've done, I only can imagine how the strategy that lied behind this practice, because it was done very thoughtfully and very purposefully.
What are some of the positive trends that you're seeing with websites this year?
In terms of positive trends, what I like to see is actually the websites and the companies are they stopped following trends so much. Maybe not in terms of design, because we're seeing illustrations, white space, all this funky, interesting stuff. But what I like is I see more and more companies that are innovating, and they're using their website as a platform for innovation and for experimenting with new growth practices and trying new things to not only grab leads or prospects, but actually to increase brand awareness and to position themselves as thought leaders, because this became basically one of the most important growth tool, because the competition is growing. Like I was checking the MarTech panorama, the MarTech map that has all the MarTech companies. From 2011 until now, the number of, we went from a few hundreds of MarTech companies worldwide to almost 10,000 MarTech companies, only in the marketing industry. And the same is happening in other industries. So how do you differentiate yourself? Only by positioning yourself as a thought leader on a specific vertical or in a specific niche or for a specific audience. But to do that, you can't just copy the trends and do what others are doing, but you have to use your platform to try new things, to test them, see what works, see what doesn't, because obviously not all practices are good for your company, and just go with it.
What are some trends that you're ready to see end this year for websites?
Okay, so I really hope, I'm sure that this trend won't end this year and maybe not the next year and not maybe in 5 years, but I really hope to stop seeing the typical corporate B2B SaaS company. Design, messaging, that you're entering, you're reading the sentence, you're trying to understand what are they selling, what is this about? Okay, have to fill in a huge form to just get in touch with somebody from sales to check the product. But yeah, what we are forgetting actually is that although if somebody runs a B2B SaaS company, they're forgetting that these businesses actually are represented by people. It's human to human, although there are lots of polemics about B2B, human to human, B2C. I don't want to enter there. But at the end of the day, who buys your product? It's a person. It's not the coffee machine who buys your software. Is the person, and these people, your buyers, they have B2C experiences with other products, and they're expecting the same easiness and the same frictionless experience with your website, with your product. So if you're offering a typical corporate B2B super gated website that even if you want to read an article, you have to register and do I don't know what, people won't stick. They will go and search for alternatives, and for sure there are lots of alternatives to your corporate B2B SaaS website. So yeah, I hope this trend will fade, and more these B2B SaaS companies will go to experiment, to try new things, and to provide this frictionless B2C-like experience on their website.
What are some of your favorite tooling or software for websites right now?
I have two favorite tools. Webflow. I build my website in Webflow. Webflow is a no-code website builder. The learning curve is quite steep. I mean, it took me some time to understand, and I had a period. I had a period when I was saying like, no, I'm not smart enough. I'm not gonna conquer Webflow. Leave me alone. I go back to WordPress. But then I think I bought a course, a masterclass that very easily explained. Although if you want to learn Webflow, they also have an university and you can just go through the videos and learn how to do things. But the freedom that Webflow offers you to create and to try new things and to try animations and interactions and to do your own stuff, it's impressive. And once you've learned the basics in 2-3 months, you are the king of the world or the queen of the world, doing whatever you want with your website. And second is Fathom Analytics. It's a Canadian company. It was built by Paul Jarvis. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He's an online entrepreneur. He wrote the book, The Company of One. And he's a huge advocate that companies shouldn't be a hassle. You have to automate everything in such a way that your team, for you to have a small team and for you to rest on the beach and let it run by itself. And I love this philosophy, obviously, and I think that lots of people love it. But he created Fathom Analytics, and it's an alternative to Google Analytics, because now with all the movements, with the GDPR, with trying us marketers trying to respect the privacy of the website visitors, they're offering a different philosophy, a different approach, a different alternative to tracking the website metrics, but at the same time respecting the privacy of your visitors. So I love the philosophy, I love the product that they created, so I integrated. Instead of using Google Analytics, I purchased their platform, and it runs perfectly, and I love it.
Want to give you a chance to promote your work? Give a plug for founders and executives looking to think strategically about their SaaS.
Yeah, well, I've created SaaS Minds. I'm spending most of my time checking SaaS companies, what they're doing, reverse engineering their growth practices. And some of them are not so obvious, but you see some trends that different companies are using the same growth practice. So what I'm trying to do is to reverse engineer this and to write short frameworks for busy SaaS founders and professionals who can just read it and see if it fits to their company, to their needs. It's an almost daily let's say I'm publishing these articles almost daily, 5 times per week, because I care about my mental health. Obviously, it will be crazy to work for 7 days to publish 7 articles per week. But what I'm thinking is that successful, thriving SaaS professionals, executives, founders, what makes them successful is their desire to learn and their curiosity. And but at the same time, they don't have the bandwidth to check, to read, to watch interviews. So I'm basically like a private researcher for all these people, trying to learn as much as possible, to synthesize everything, to put it into frameworks, and to offer it as a premium content product. So yeah, basically that's what I'm doing.